Hello everyone, my name is Xinghui Fuk, and I'm currently a master's student at the Academy of Sinology, UWTSD. This is my fourth year here, and today I'm going to share about my reflection and the benefits gained from learning traditional Chinese culture. This is the content of my presentation. I'll first introduce how I started learning traditional Chinese culture. Then I will share the benefits I've gained from learning, and finally, the methods of learning. First, on how I started learning traditional Chinese culture. I was first exposed to it as a child. Every week, my mother would send my brother and me to Chinese classics classes for children. As we were growing up, my mother continually immersed herself in the teachings of Venerable Master Qin Kong and Venerable Cheng De, who was then Teacher Cai. As she played these Dharma talks and lectures at home, the seeds of these teachings were imperceptibly sown in our minds. When we faced problems in school, my mother would also use these teachings to guide us. And each time there would be positive outcomes. These incidents strengthened my faith in traditional Chinese culture. Apart from this, my parents would also educate us through their actions. The filial respect and love they show to my grandparents and the way they love and care for my aunts and uncles have unknowingly shaped my values and taught me that this is the way we should treat our family. During the process of learning traditional Chinese culture, I was moved by these two teachings. Those who are hateful must have a pitiful circumstance, and people are innately good. After learning about the life stories of those deemed hateful, these two teachings have time after time proven to be true. I always wondered how people develop into hateful people and how we can prevent that from happening. This prompted me to study psychology for my first degree, to understand the factors that influence a person's thought and behavior. Such understanding has helped me be more empathetic towards others' circumstances instead of being too quick to blame. For example, during my internship working with youth offenders, I learned that they often came from broken families and do not have an adult to constantly provide them with care and guidance. With such an understanding, what can we do to improve these circumstances? Venerable Master Qin Kong repeatedly emphasizes this from the Book of Rites, Li Ji. To build up a country and govern its people, education is the first priority. 建国军民，教学为先. Only through learning would individuals know how to cultivate and conduct themselves. Also, as mentioned in the Book of Rites, through self-cultivation, families can be regulated, countries can be well governed, and subsequently, the whole world can achieve stability. 身修而后家齐，家齐而后国治，国治而后天下平. Therefore, to resolve problems from their roots, to be instilled with the proper mindset for self-cultivation, education is the crucial first step. The ancient sages have offered solutions to these issues in the classics. Since I was fortunate to be exposed to the wisdom of the ancient sages, I believe I have the responsibility to delve into these teachings to offer them to the world. With the constant encouragement and support from my teachers, family, and friends, I came to the Academy of Sinology, UWTSD, to further my learning in traditional Chinese culture. Next, on the benefits from learning. It has been almost 4 years since I came to the Academy. Though I'm still lacking very much in my learning, I will next share some benefits gained from my limited learning. It is hoped that it offers some perspectives on how traditional Chinese culture could provide practical benefits to our everyday lives. I will begin by sharing how learning has improved my personal well-being. In my many years of schooling, I was not the student who found enjoyment in learning. I studied because it was my responsibility to do so, and worked for acceptable grades to enter university and get a job. Some subjects were interesting to learn, but sometimes I find that there is still a gap between learning and application to our daily lives. Learning sinology at the academy felt quite different. I remember for our first module, where we learned daily manners, the essentials of courtesy, I remarked to my friend after class one day, "Wow, how fortunate we are. We are learning practical knowledge that we can apply to our daily lives." When teaching us, our teachers stress the importance of putting learning into practice. For example, the first teaching of the essentials of courtesy reads, "A good child should get up early and tidy up clothes and bedding by themselves. Be sure to greet our parents in the morning and see that they are secure in the evening." This sounds like a simple rule that is taught to children, but in fact, there is an important rationale behind it. If we form the habits of treasuring our time, keeping our environment in good order, and making sure our parents are well, it develops self-discipline and helps us keep our parents in mind. Practicing this teaching brings me joy and assurance, knowing that I have more time to do what I needed to, seeing that the environment is neat and tidy, and that my parents are well. Confucius said in the opening chapter of the Analects, "Isn't it a pleasure to learn and constantly practice what is learned? 学而时习之，不亦说乎?" This is just one example of how constantly putting what we learn into practice can be fulfilling. These rewards bring us inner joy that cannot be achieved by external rewards. This is the first kind of joy I gained from learning. The second kind of joy is with regards to my life goals and pursuits. In the past, my goals were more centered around myself and my own family. To repay my parents' love, my goal was to earn enough money to allow my family to enjoy life without having to worry about material needs. For myself, it was similar. I did not have enough concern or a strong sense of mission to do my part for the community and society. I wanted to find a meaningful job in which I could help others, and in my own time, I'll find ways to enjoy the pleasures of life. So, as we can see, my goals are more centered around myself and my family. However, after learning sinology, I realized that there is so much more that we can do for ourselves and others. One of the most outstanding students of Confucius, Zhengzi, said, "A scholar cannot but aim high and be perseverant, for he has to shoulder heavy responsibilities and has a long way ahead. He takes benevolence as his responsibility. Is that not heavy? Only with death does the road come to an end. Is that not long? 事不可以不弘毅，任重而道远。人以为己任，不亦重乎？死而后已，不亦远乎?" For a benevolent person, while striving to gain footing, will help others gain theirs. While striving to seek accomplishment would help others gain theirs. 己欲立而立人，己欲达而达人. I am fortunate to have the opportunity to learn the teachings of the ancient sages, and in them lie the teachings for a fulfilling life, a harmonious family, and a peaceful society. Thus, to only seek my own happiness is too self-centered. While looking to lead a happy and fulfilling life, I should also help others build theirs. I now have a greater life goal to work towards something greater than myself. Recently, I had the opportunity to conduct English classes for young children. It could be seen that as they learn the teachings of the ancient sages, their inherent good nature is retained and further developed. The natural love they show to their parents and the kindness they extend towards others and the environment are role models for us. If we could help people retain and further develop their innate good nature through education, that would be a very meaningful and fulfilling job. Not only would the child grow up to be a happy, kind, and healthy person, happy families will be built too. When we can help others realize their potential and bring joy and meaning to their lives, that is much more meaningful and rewarding than seeking our own pleasure. This, I believe, is also a better way of repaying our parents, teachers, and those who love us by extending their love to benefit more people. Learning to devote myself to a greater cause, working towards something greater than myself, is the second joy I've gained through the learning of Sinology. The third kind of joy I've experienced is by learning to choose my thoughts. Buddhism teaches us that all phenomena are manifested by the mind. 一切法从心想生. How a situation affects us is not determined by the situation itself, but by what we make out of it. Venerable Master Chin Kung taught us to live in a grateful world. Be grateful to those who have criticized you, for they have increased your wisdom and concentration. Be grateful to those who have made you stumble, for they have strengthened your ability. Be grateful to those who have abandoned you, for they have taught you to be independent. Be grateful to those who have hit you, for they have reduced your karmic obstacles. Be grateful to those who have deceived you, for they have deepened your insight. Be grateful to those who have hurt or harmed you, for they have reinforced your determination. Be grateful to those who have made you firm and resolute and helped in your achievement. In situations in which we have been criticized, abandoned, or deceived, there are still things to be grateful for. Those who criticize us have increased our wisdom and concentration. Those who have abandoned us taught us to be independent. And those who have deceived us have deepened our insight. When we meet difficult circumstances, if we choose to focus on the positive aspects and make the most out of the situation, we could grow and benefit from even the worst predicament. Recently, I got ill and had to receive treatment lasting several months. In the beginning, the treatment didn't go smoothly as I experienced side effects which made me even more sick, putting my health in danger. I got worried and wondered, why is this happening to me? Did I do something wrong? The law of cause and effect tells us that whatever we encounter is a result of our own deeds. Buddhism also teaches us that all phenomena are manifested by the mind. What is something I'm not doing right that resulted in this? My teacher very kindly told me my shortcomings and to correct myself from my thoughts. During the process, I also used the situation as a motivation to correct my shortcomings and mend my bad habits. With the constant encouragement and care from my family, teachers, and friends, I learned to face the situation more positively and turned to use the situation as a stimulus to improve myself. Sometimes we cannot change external circumstances, but we do not have to let that dictate us. We have the choice to choose our thoughts, how we let the situation affect us, and positive outcomes could result from a seemingly bad situation. Learning to choose our thoughts gives us freedom in every situation. This is the third joy I've experienced through learning. Other than the joy from learning, the improvement in interpersonal relationships is another practical benefit of learning sinology. As Zhu Xi mentioned, no one in the world falls outside the constant relationships. Therefore, no learning falls outside this category. 天下无轮外之人，故自无轮外之学. In other words, the purpose of learning is no other than to better fulfill our responsibilities in the 5 constant relationships. In the 5 constant relationships, there should be a distinction between husband and wife, love between father and son, precedence of the old over the young, duty between leader and subordinate, and trustworthiness between friends. The purpose of learning is not just to gain expertise in an area, but more importantly, to better fulfill our responsibilities and improve interpersonal relationships. Within these 5 constant relationships, the most fundamental one is the love between parent and child. When we are born, a natural bond exists between parent and child. The purpose of education is to maintain this natural bond for the rest of one's life and further extend this love for one's parents to siblings, family, friends, and all people. To know if we are getting closer to the goal of education, our relationship with our parents is a good indicator. Through learning sinology, I was better able to appreciate my parents and put myself in their shoes to feel what they feel. Since I left home to come to the UK, my father would send me stickers on WeChat every day to say good morning and good night. He would also ask me about the weather and whether I was well. In the beginning, I did not see my father's intention behind these stickers and hence did not appreciate them enough. I would reply with similar stickers without much thought, and sometimes didn't reply at all. However, as I learned to put myself in my father's shoes and let go of my own assumptions, I came to realize the deeper meaning behind these stickers. They carry the deep love and concern a parent has for the child who is far away. Seeing our reply, they will know that we are well, and that gives them assurance. Realizing this, I appreciated these stickers more and put more thought into replying them. I can better feel my father's deep love, which made me more grateful, and that brought me closer to my father. Letting go of our own thoughts and feelings to fully stand in the shoes of others is an important part of interpersonal relationships and to get along with others. When we can truly spend every thought thinking for others, there would hardly be anyone we cannot get along with. I'm not doing this very well, but I yearn to start by learning to empathize with my parents. Finally, on the methods of learning. Reflecting on the benefits gained from learning, I am very grateful for the opportunity to learn at the Academy of Sinology. When we are just starting to learn, the learning environment is of great importance. In the Academy, we have more time to be immersed in the teachings of the ancient sages, which is vital for these teachings to be instilled in us. We spend our class time learning classics, which gives us time to delve into the teachings of the sages. Other than that, we also have extracurricular classes that focus on the application of these teachings to consolidate our learning. Since the moral education lessons are attended by everyone in the academy, it helps to build harmony by having the same viewpoints and in observing the same precepts. When working on tasks together, such as helping out in the kitchen or being in charge of a certain project, we'll try our best to adhere to the teachings of the sages and to remind each other about that too. The presence of teachers and friends is pivotal too. Teachers provide a model for us to emulate by practicing what they teach, and that shows us the way to conduct ourselves and deal with matters. Friends learn alongside us, and their examples also help us put into practice the teachings of the ancient sages. We have been strongly encouraged to practice giving lectures following the lectures given by teachers. This is to enhance our understanding of the teachings and to make ourselves more familiar with how our parents, our teachers think. It is said that when we admire the virtuous, we should admire their heart and mind. 目贤当慕其心. Thus, to emulate our teachers, it is important to first be familiar with their heart and mind, and lecturing practice helps us achieve that. The guidelines for being a good person teaches us to be close to kind and virtuous people. The environment in the academy provides us ample opportunities to do so, to immerse ourselves in the teachings of the ancient sages, in learning and in our daily lives. Such immersive learning has helped me better integrate the teachings of the ancient sages into my everyday life. All in all, I'm very grateful to be able to experience the joys of learning. This is the joy from putting learning into practice, from working towards something that is greater than myself, and to learn to choose my thoughts in different situations. I thank my mother for strengthening my faith in traditional Chinese culture since young, my teachers and friends for showing me the way. Although I'm inadequate as a student of the sages, I strive to continue learning from them to better fulfill my responsibilities, to help others gain footing while I strive to gain mine, and help others seek accomplishment when I strive to seek mine. This is all for my presentation today. Any feedback and suggestions would be appreciated. Thank you for your kind attention.